What's up, everybody? Welcome to a hobby resolution ramble. Happy New Year! It's 2021. It's not going to magically fix all the problems 2020 has brought us, but hopefully it will be an ascent as opposed to a descent. With that said, New Year means new or continuing resolutions for everything, including hobbies. So this is a hobby resolution ramble. I'm going to give you my few resolutions that I have. I have a few of them for me personally, and I encourage you to share your own hobby resolutions in the comments section below. I'm going to try not to go too deep into tangents or anything, but I will not just list them, I will explain it a little bit. So this video hopefully won't go too long, but it's not just going to be, 3 minutes and we're out of here. So, with that said, let's just have some fun. So, the big thing, hobby wise, for me, is to paint more. 2020 saw a lot of shakeup in people's routines, and people made the best of it in many different ways. And in the hobby, people really got some painting done potentially. My routine didn't shake up. As an essential worker, it was business as usual, if not sometimes getting a bit busier once the high command, if you will, this is a joke to say that, figure things out. But um, anyways, my point is I didn't get a shake up, and my routine didn't include a lot of painting. So when you don't do a lot of something, sometimes you don't question it without a shake up. So 3 months go by and I realize I didn't paint anything. Whoops. And then you try to do a little something, and then it happens again. Anyways, my point is I want to just get more painting done. Specifically, I want to develop a bit of a momentum routine, because I feel when you are able to develop a momentum kind of routine situation, it is very beneficial for you. I feel it works better in the long run than just binge painting once a month or something like that. So, yeah, I'll like to try and do that. Part of that is going to be figuring out my homebrew Space Marine color scheme that I really want to cement down. I have two ways about it. One is involves my favorite color, which is orange, as the prime main armor color for the Space Marine Force. The other is a little different. It's more a subdued gray with some blue tinge. But I really want to make the orange color scheme work, being my favorite color, and you don't see a lot of armored. They're all armored. You don't see a lot of orange armored. There we go. Space Marines out there. So they're out there and they look great. I've seen them, but you don't see a lot of it, and that's why I'd like to do that. Plus, being the favorite color. I gotta figure out a way to make it work that isn't gonna be an absolute headache. And if I ultimately can't, for me, I'm okay with going the other route. Cause that other route would be a lot of fun too. But you know, why not try and do something that's your favorite color? And I have an idea potentially for a ramble for that later. Maybe we'll see. On top of that, I also want to actively try my hand at training my painting skill a bit. If you paint an army, let's say you are collecting salamanders. I don't, but let's say you are, and you're newer to the hobby. From your first salamander to your last salamander model, you will see improvement just by painting up that color scheme over and over again and doing it. But on top of that, you can also actively train by doing certain techniques like wet blending, or doing certain things like object source lighting or whatever else that maybe take a conscious effort to follow guides and stuff to try your hand at and practice. And I'm not saying I've never tried that before, but I really want to buckle down once I get a routine going and try out some of the more quote unquote advanced techniques and see what I can do, because I think that'll be fun, and I'd like to try and become a better painter. So that is my just wanting to paint more thing. And it's not like I'm trying to, of course, I want to build up armies, but I'm not just gonna focus on one color scheme. Like once I figure out my DIY force, I'm not gonna do just that. There'll be Sekhmet, there'll be First Legion, there'll be Necrons. It's just I want to get things figured out so everything's a plan of attack as opposed to a theory. The second real big hobby resolution for me is I want to go ahead and kind of continue, I believe, what I've been doing for the past few years, but actually make a better effort of it and a better show of it. And I want to continue compartmentalizing and organizing my hobby stuff. I have a lot of hobby stuff. And some of it just needs to get thrown away, not because it's not to waste it, but some of it's paint that's gone off, right? It's not going to work. So I got to really clean up stuff that way. I got to break down sprues to make it more efficient. And basically, my goal is to claim back literal real estate from boxes that are semi overflowing or whatever. And part of helping that will be painting, of course. But I really want to compartmentalize things down and just not feel like I have a mountain of stuff in my way all the time, if that makes any sense. Which means I'm going to have excess stuff I just won't need to do anything with, and I'll try and figure out something with that once I get to that stage. But that's some of the behind the scenes stuff, if you will. It's a little less glamorous stuff of hobbying. Eventually got to compartmentalize and restructure down and organize things. It's just, or else it'll overwhelm you. And those are my hobby resolutions for the hobby itself. Now, being that I do this channel, I do have a hobby channel resolution out there. And that is to expand my horizons a little bit. I'm not looking to turn this into anything like a funding, like a Patreon. None of that stuff. I don't think it's fair, and I don't think not that I don't think I'm worth it, but I don't think it's theoretically worth it just for having fun with a channel like this. So I do have the ability to capture video from my computer and everything. So I am thinking of maybe just doing some, like, instead of let's plays, I call it chill plays of maybe things like some Dawn of War 1 stuff or something. Some really basic stuff that I know I can record without taxing everything and talk over with no problem, and kind of discuss maybe the snapshot of time that this game came out in terms of the hobby and why it might seem different, certain or certain things aren't in it, or just give some thoughts on it. I don't know. I was thinking of maybe doing something like that if there's interest. Again, not a let's play, but more so just like, hey, let's talk hobby while seeing something related to the hobby. I was also maybe trying to figure out a way to do some, I call it grassroots interviews, aka non like big name interview stuff. I wouldn't be opposed, but this channel is not huge. It's not a part of a conglomerate or anything, so I am very much a realist. And I understand that I probably won't get any real game developers or authors that'll like necessarily to be a part of an interview, but people in the community, other YouTube channel people or whatever as well. I have been toying with the idea of just interviewing stuff with no real rhyme or reason, just to talk about what got them into the hobby and whatnot. I have a means of doing that, recording that. So that is a idea I've been toying with, I've been thinking about recently. So it all. And the only reason I'm going over this stuff is to gauge some interest and also give you an idea of a resolution that is part of the hobby, but for me, I guess, because it's the channel, not everybody runs the channel. So, on top of doing all the random rambles and random videos that I do, I was thinking of adding those two concepts to the list. Again, I work full time. This isn't my job. I don't try to monetize any of this stuff at all, so it's just meant for the fun of it. But yeah, share your thoughts in the comment section below on that, on top of sharing your own resolutions. This is going on long enough, so thanks very much for tuning in and stopping by. And until the next one, Happy New Year's.